Angry protesters attack a Turkish satellite TV truck as its driver attempts to flee Istanbul's Taksim Square. The protesters said they were angry at the excessive use of police force and the policies of the Turkish Prime Minister. So why then this rage against the Turkish media?
Media failed, of course.
Until 2 years ago, Banu Güven was an anchorwoman for the Turkish news network NTV, until she says her company buckled under government pressure and fired her. In the last few years, a succession of journalists seen to be critical of the government have been similarly fired from mainstream media outlets. While Turkey has also had the distinction, according to press freedoms groups, of having more journalists behind bars than any other country in the world.
What has the media atmosphere been like in Turkey prior to this protest movement erupting?
Silenced. I can tell you that maybe 80% of media, newspapers, TV channels and radio channels, they are in the hands of a few business people who have their ties with the government.
When clashes raged across the center of Turkey's largest city on May 31st, Turkey's normally colorful media was unusually quiet. CNN's affiliate, CNN Turk, did broadcast regular news bulletins on the clashes. The network, which operates under license from CNN's parent company, Time Warner, is editorially independent of CNN. Late at night last Saturday, in the midst of the worst anti-government protests in a decade, CNN Turk continued to broadcast regularly scheduled programs like this documentary on penguins.
Behind their feisty charm.
The penguins have become a national joke in Turkey, mocked by a recent guest on CNN Turk.
There's no doubt that the government does have a huge say over how the media runs its own affairs, and they do put pressure on media in times like this. But I think it's backfiring in the sense that people are relying on Twitter and social media networks.
Social media trackers charted the use of the protest-linked Twitter hashtag Direngezi Park in Istanbul, saying it was used more than 1.8 million times Monday morning. That same day, Turkey's Prime Minister denounced social media.
Right now, there is a pest that is called Twitter. There is exaggeration, all lies. Of course, what is called social media is right now a menace to society.
This week, the editor-in-chief of NTV apologized after several workers walked off the job in protest. The search for balance in an unbalanced atmosphere has affected the entire media as well as us, he said. Our viewers felt betrayed, and it is not possible to find them unjustified on this subject. CNN Turk, NTV, and other Turkish media companies have clearly made an effort to provide more comprehensive coverage of the protests in recent days. But the debate over the media's role in Turkey's increasingly polarized society is still far from over. Ivan Watson, CNN, Istanbul.